Let's talk about drug mules, guys. Drug muling is when you kind of pay someone to transport your drugs for you. You know, that could be within the same country, or sometimes that could be getting someone to put the drugs up in their, let's say, behind, and then going on an aircraft so no one can detect it because it's inside of you. And then when you come back off the plane into the country of your choice, then you can just poo it all out and the drugs come out. These are kind of some of the risks people take to make some money, okay? Usually it's not their own idea. Usually they have like a friend or a family friend or someone that they kind of know which says, hey, do you want some quick money? All you've got to do is take these drugs and then go somewhere with them and find them. And as simple as that. Yeah, there's a small risk, but think about all the money you're gonna make. And the question I would have to ask is like, is that money worth it? Really, is that money worth it to risk your whole life for? And I'm not talking about jail. I mean literally, is that money worth your life? Let's find out. This article's from Sky News. Britons accused of smuggling cocaine in Angel Delight sachets could face death penalty. Jonathan Christopher Collier and Lisa Ellen Stocker were arrested after custom officers halted them at the X-ray machine. A third Briton, Phineas Ambrose Float, is being tried separately. 3 Britons could face the death penalty in Bali after appearing in court charged with smuggling nearly a kilo of cocaine into Indonesia. Jonathan Christopher Collier and Lisa Ellen Stocker were arrested on the 1st of February after customs officers stopped them at an X-ray machine after finding suspicious items in their luggage, prosecutors claimed. A lab result confirmed that 10 sachets of Angel Delight powdered dessert mix in Collier's luggage and 7 similar sachets in his partner's suitcase contained 993.56 grams or over 2 pounds of cocaine worth an estimated 6 billion rupiah, which is I assume is the Indonesian currency, but it's worth £272,000 in UK Great British Sterling. Whoa. Okay, so earlier I talked about people like being coerced into it, but no, these guys must be in the game, because to carry that much of cocaine, okay, you're not just doing a quick little quickie. No, you're trying to play the game and try and win and get some serious money. So they're not at the bottom of the hierarchy at all. They must be somewhere more in the middle. There they go. In Indonesian court in Bali. The regret on his face, like, yeah, you know you've effed up. I mean, look at the courtroom, it's like so unofficial looking. And these guys in Indonesia do not play, ladies and gents. Like, they know it's over for them. Because as we're going to find out soon, Bali does not play when it comes to the drug game. The drugs were bought from England to Indonesia via Qatar, Mr. Umbara said. The group had successfully brought cocaine into the country twice before. Pongko Indrio, the deputy director of the Bali Police Narcotics Unit, told reporters in February. Convicted drug smugglers in Indonesia are sometimes executed by firing squad. So the question I pose once again is this: is it worth it to make a little bit of money in exchange for your life, your literal life? Because sometimes in Indonesia, they gun you the heck down. Okay, so if the cocaine was worth £272,000, they might have only got 20, 30, 40, 50k out of that if they're just doing the muling only. Is that really worth your life? Is it? Surely you have to add up the risk versus reward ratio here and think to yourself, you know what? This bad man life isn't for me, especially when you're transporting drugs into countries like Indonesia where their policies for this type of crime is so high. They could kill you. And England ain't gonna save you because these rules are clear. Like, if you're over 18, you know, like, some of these countries are harsh. Like, just don't do it. And I'm sure if you transport drugs to another country, I'm sure you look at the potential jail time or the potential for drug trafficking in the country you go to. And if you don't look at the potential jail charges, you're dumb. If you don't look at what you could possibly get for transporting such drugs in someone else's country, you are an idiot, because that tells me that you're not even balancing out the risk versus reward ratio, you idiots. So if a drug mule was to tell me he didn't know that in Indonesia, my God, they kill you down, possibly, then you're an idiot and you deserve what's kind of coming to you, because why are you doing it? You know it's illegal in this country. About 530 people, including 96 foreigners, are on death row in Indonesia, mostly for drug-related crimes, according to figures from the country's Ministry of Immigration and Corrections. That's more than 600 people in death row in Indonesia. You know the risk. 600 people are about to face the consequences of the risks that was posed to them when they were transporting drugs into Indonesia. Is it worth it? And don't you be crying back to the UK for love and support from your UK government. Oh my gosh, I'm there, please help me. Why are you transporting drugs to there for? Why are you doing it for? And you brought the drugs from England to Qatar, then to Indonesia anyway. So that means you had drugs in England. So the England prosecutors won't be happy with you either. So don't be coming back to cry for mummy England for you here to save your ass, because no. See what's sad about it? Like, obviously I'm not advocating for crime here, but there's so many other types of crime which can net you similar amounts of money or even more, that have a far less chance of giving you a death row sentence. Like, do you know of all these white collar crimes that happen and they only get like a couple years? Like, let's look at Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's see how much years he got in prison for his crazy. He scammed people out of loads of money, millions of money here. And he only was sentenced to 25 years in prison and then 3 years of supervised release for scamming people out of more than $11 billion in their fraudulent scheme. But you guys, okay, risked your whole life for £272,000. So who's the real idiot here? Okay? Sam Bankman-Fried will walk away one day out of prison and live some sort of life afterwards. Okay? He ain't gonna die from this. You idiots will. You mugs. You absolute mugs. One of the people in death row in Indonesia, Britton Linsday Sandyford, now 69, has been on death row for more than a decade after 3.8 kilograms of cocaine was found in her luggage in 2012. Well, that's one way to end the remaining twilight years of your life. Despite its strict laws, Indonesia is a major drug smuggling hub, the UN has said, partly because international syndicates target its young population. Last week, Thomas Parker from Cumbria was sentenced to 10 months in jail in Bali for drug offences after a charge that could carry the death penalty was dropped. He was accused of collecting a package containing MDMA from a motorcycle driver on a nearby street. It's obvious to know the risk involved when carrying this quantity of drugs into Indonesia. And not only Indonesia, but we went through Qatar too, which I know are also very strict on their drugs. Strictest places are Asian countries and Arab Muslim countries. My God. You get caught in those countries with that quantity of drugs, hell is coming to you. Why risk your life to never see your kids ever again, to never see your wife ever again, to never see your husband ever again, to never have a life ever again? Why risk it? It's not a lot of money. If you're going to do a scam, do a proper scam and you make billions. Proper money. Not this little drug smuggling game. Okay? This is for the low levels, okay? Tell you who does the biggest scams in this world? The elites. The elites do the biggest scams and they get away with it every single day. You guys think you're getting money? Oh, I make £50,000 from doing drugs. Oh, no. You're not that cool, bro. You're really not that cool, okay?